minutes of previous meeting in your packet. What's your pleasure? Mr. Trutchell?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
Okay. Second by Mrs. Lester. Roll call and approval of the minutes.
Ames.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Trutchell.
Yes.
And the minutes are approved. A report of council committees. Mrs. Ames.
Thank you, President Schultz. I have handed out for finance the end of the month reports from the auditor. If you have any questions, please call Mr. Morrissey. Also, the budget books and end of the year reports are available at the auditor's office for council members to pick up. Finance has one item on the agenda tonight. Item 1 is an ordinance providing for the issuance of $200,000 of notes by the city of Chillicothe for the purpose of acquiring a fire truck. And as explained by Mrs. Henderson at the last council meeting, this is a rollover and pay down to $200,000 from the previous notes that were issued for the fire truck that we purchased. And that ends the finance report. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Bonner?
Thank you, President Schultz. The Human Resources Committee has one item on the agenda tonight. It's the first reading to accept the fact-finding report of the FOP Lodge 59 and the city. And at the appropriate time, I will ask that we waive the rules and accept that finding tonight.
Okay, thank you. Other committee reports this evening? Mrs. Ames.
Thank you, President Schultz. Development Committee, I have several items tonight that I need to take care of. First of all, I handed out to council an ordinance, and I would, for Red Flex refunds, and I would like to waive the 3-day receipt rule for this, to add to the agenda tonight.
Okay, is there a second? Mrs. Malone seconds the motion. Okay, roll call a motion to waive the 3-day receipt rule and place this item on the agenda.
Ames.
Yes.
Bonner.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Trutchell.
Yes.
And that motion passed. That will be item number 3.
This is an ordinance authorizing the city auditor to refund right turn on red payments received through the photo traffic enforcement system from the initiation of the system through January 1st, 2009, and declaring an emergency. This is per the mayor's announcement that was made in November, and as was stated at the last council meeting, we've been waiting for the information from Red Flex so we could proceed. The list of names and addresses was received by the auditor's office on Friday. There are 3 people working on this to get them in the mail as quickly as possible, and I would like to thank people who are due refunds for being patient, and barring any unforeseen problems, they should be in the mail by the end of this week and the beginning of next week. And at the appropriate time, I will also ask to waive the 3 read rule so the refunds can go out immediately. Second, I have passed out an ordinance for the NSP, the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, and I would like to ask to waive the 3-day receipt rule for this, so this could be added to the agenda tonight.
Okay. Second by Mrs. Malone. Again, the motion is to waive the 3-day receipt rule and place this item on the agenda. Roll call.
Ames.
Yes?
Bonner.
Yes.
Lester.
Yes.
Malone.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Trutchell.
Yes.
And that motion did pass. That would be item number 4 on the agenda this evening.
This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Chillicothe to enter into a joint cooperation agreement with the city of Circleville and the Ross, Pike, and Pickaway County Boards of Commissioners for the purpose of securing neighborhood stabilization program funds and the administration of the same and declaring an emergency. This is money that's going to be coming from the Ohio Department of Development, Ohio Housing and Community Partnership. The entities listed are part of Region 17, and they will be receiving funds and working together to improve the communities and the counties. Money granted can be used to purchase low-income, foreclosed, or vacant properties through Metro or Community Action, rehab them, and then sell them in order to upgrade neighborhoods. It can also be used to demolish low to moderate income properties that are deemed too deteriorated to rehab. There is very stringent criteria in order for the properties to qualify for this. Properties that are under consideration are on the east end and south end of Chillicothe and off Bellevue in the Johnson and Pullman Road areas. Devin Shoemaker of Ross County Planning told me that the survey plan of this program should be appearing tomorrow in the Chillicothe Gazette. The total grant amount is $1,218,179, and Chillicothe will be receiving roughly $310,000 of that amount. The money is to be awarded on April 1st, and this agreement needs to be returned to the Ohio Department of Development by February 27th. So at the next council meeting, I'll ask that it will be passed in order to meet the deadline. Finally, I'd like to report on assignment 204. This was to investigate the Restoring Prosperity to Ohio initiative. I read the book and all the information in the folder that was given to me, and I also emailed Ann Seller, the state point of contact person. At this time, I am going to turn this over to the mayor and the economic development manager, as it is an administrative issue and no action is required on the part of city council. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Patrick.
Thank you, President Schultz. The Utilities Committee does not have any items on tonight's agenda. However, I would like to announce that the Water Rate Review Committee has scheduled a meeting for Tuesday, February 17th at 2 o'clock in the Mayor's Conference Room. Next, please.
All right, thank you. Other committee reports this evening? Mr. Prohl.
Thank you, President Schultz. Safety Services Committee doesn't have anything on the agenda tonight, but I did want to announce that we'll be having a Safety Services Committee meeting on February the 17th at 4 o'clock in Conference Room 1, and that will be pertaining to the 4th Street metered parking.
Okay. Any other committee reports this evening?
17th.
Okay, reports of city officials. Mayor Salzer.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of council. Just commenting on a couple of items on this evening's agenda. The item number 2, which is the accepting of the recommendation of the fact finder with the FOP Lodge 59 in the city. The administration does recommend to City Council that they approve this resolution this evening, and that the city accept the fact finder's positions on all issues. I would also explain that one of the reasons that we have to pass this evening and waive the 3 reading rule is because of state law. Under state law, we have so many days to act. Both sides do, that is, in a collective bargaining, public employees collective bargaining situation. So we have to act on that this evening. Within 24 hours, we are required by state law to certify that action to the CERB board in Columbus, and then they will notify the local media as well as the local city officials as to the fact that the findings of the fact finder are posted for 30 days, and from there then we'll proceed according to law.